Hello everyone, welcome to today's video on the Cosmic Mastery. So I'm in Palmas del Mar, Puerto Rico. So I've been coming here since I was a baby, and we have a villa out here that's just across the street from the beach. So it's really nice for us to just have a little getaway and connect more with nature out here. Because when we're back home in Canada, we don't really spend much time outdoors. Most of my family's pretty busy with work and being inside all day, so we come out here every year to just kind of reconnect and unwind a little bit, because everybody needs that, you know, that recharge of energy and getting out into the nature. So today is April 20th, so happy 420. Tomorrow's my birthday. So I'll be 23, and it'll be my first birthday in Puerto Rico ever. So that's going to be pretty cool, and the full moon's coming up as well. So the energy's been a little bit rough, especially the day before yesterday. I don't know if you guys felt it, but all of us felt it for sure. Probably to do with the moon, but also the shifts, the energy's a lot stronger. So it might be a little bit difficult this week, a lot of intense emotions, so just try to be really gentle with yourself at this time and not try to take things personally if someone is sort of like attacking you in any way, or if you feel attacked by someone, don't take it personally. Everyone's kind of getting affected by the moon, because you know the moon affects the tides of the water, and our bodies are pretty much all water, so it's going to affect us in the same way. So yesterday, something kind of incredible happened. So before I get into that, I want to just talk a little bit about the receptive mode. So if you haven't seen any Abraham Hicks yet, please go to YouTube and watch some Abraham Hicks. It's Esther Hicks, and she channels a non-physical being called Abraham, and they call themselves infinite intelligence. So they teach the law of attraction, and they teach about vibration. And so your vibration is vibration happens from emotion. So whatever emotions you're feeling, it's going to send out a vibration, and you feel that. So when you're feeling something really intense, if it's good or bad, whatever, that's sending out a vibration that's going to be reflected to you in your physical experience. And so that's why people say, you know, you create your own reality. So whatever emotional state you're in is going to determine what kind of circumstances happen. And also, when you're in alignment, which is being in the receptive mode, is basically when you're feeling good, and when you're in that positive state, you're feeling inspired, you're feeling happy, at peace, you're feeling joyful. That is you being aligned with who you truly are. That's you being aligned with your soul. And anytime that you're feeling a negative emotion, it means that the way that you're perceiving something is not the same way that your soul is perceiving it to be. So it means that your perception of something and your awareness of something is not aligned with the way that your higher self is seeing that thing. Because your higher self, or your soul, is all peace, all love, all joy. Your higher soul is not wrapped up in any kind of negative emotion whatsoever. And so when you're feeling that negative emotion, it means that you're not aligned with your soul. And so when you see something that makes you not feel so good, it's important to recognize that as contrast, so that it can show you what you do desire and what you do want and what does make you feel good, so that you can shift your focus from whatever is making you feel bad to whatever will make you feel good. And then feeling good will put you into the receptive mode. Okay, so when you're in the receptive mode, that is the time when ideas come in, when inspiration comes in. It's when you are open to receiving the guidance that is available to you at all times. And so if you're feeling good and you're in the receptive mode, you're going to receive brilliant ideas about what steps you can take that will take you closer to whatever it is that your desire is. So, yesterday, I was on my way to the rainforest, and I was in the car, in the receptive mode. I was in the receptive mode pretty much all day except for little tidbits of it. Okay, so I was in the receptive mode, just feeling really good, and I had this idea come in my mind, and it was something I thought of before, and I always wanted to do, and it was that I want to travel. I want to do my work all around the world. And I don't want to be stuck in one place. I want to be able to move around and do what I do for all kinds of people in all kinds of places. And I didn't stay stuck on that and think, well, how can I make this happen? I just had the thought, and I just let it go. I said, I want this. This would be what I desire. This is my idea, and I forgot about it. And so later on that day, I was walking down a path, and I was on my way back to the villa, and I had this intuitive feeling to go over to this building that was beside me and take some pictures. And so when I was taking pictures of the building, I heard someone calling to me from the golf course that was right next door. And so I looked over, and it was an older guy, and he just started talking to me. And it didn't, at first I was kind of not really sure why this guy was talking to me. I didn't know if it was just a random thing, like he wanted to talk to this girl. But it turned out that he had an intuitive feeling to say something to me for whatever reason. And so we were at the same place at the same time, both in the receptive mode. So I wasn't sure about talking to him, so I kind of stayed a little bit farther away. And one of the first things that he said, because he saw me taking pictures, he started talking about how I can travel and do my work without having to pay any taxes on the work that I'm doing. And so when he said that, I kind of clued in. Like maybe this person was guided to me because that information is what I needed to know for the intention I set earlier that day, which was about traveling and doing my work. And so I relaxed a little bit, and I kind of felt like it was sort of like a meant to be kind of thing. So I went over and I talked to him. And it turns out he is a master, like me. Okay, so a master is someone who has the life path number 11. I'm not sure what his life path is, but you can tell when someone's a master. So a master is someone who has a very broad perspective and someone who has a very deep core soul understanding and wisdom. And they've mastered a certain aspect of the physical world. And their purpose is to take their mastery and teach it to others. So, after a few minutes of listening to him talk, I realized this guy's a master, this guy's a teacher. And then as the conversation went on, it was really strange. We started to have memories coming back, or sort of vivid remembrance of each other. And we had never met before. There's no way that we've met before. But there was something that we both sort of knew, and it was that sort of feeling like you've met this person before. And I'm sure you felt this with other people. Like, you meet and it's like you've known each other for years. And that was really strange to me, because like I said, it was sort of like memories coming in. But it wasn't like clear memories, like, oh, I remember doing this with you. It was the memory of that person, the memory of their face, their voice, just like soul memories, I guess. And it was really strange. And I was trying to think how that could be possible and how I would know this person. And so the only conclusion I was able to come to was that this person was from a past life, or they're part of my soul group. So I did not only meet another master, I met someone from my soul group. I met someone from a past life, or something like that. Someone I had known, not in this lifetime, but in another lifetime, where we could have possibly looked the same because of the recognition we have with the way each other looked and the way we spoke. But that was really odd to me, and it was really cool, because I knew that I was in the receptive mode, so I had that nudge from within to go over and start taking pictures of a place I didn't intend to take any photos of. And then this person had the intention to come over and feel the need to talk to me. And he said he felt like he was guided, like he had a nudge within that said, you have to go talk to this person. And I explained to him that that was our guides lining us up because of what I needed, because he had the information that I needed to know for my intention, which is to travel. And so that was cool. He knew exactly what I needed to know, so I have a new teacher, here he is, right? And as we kept talking, he mentioned to me, because I said I was a spiritual teacher, he mentioned that he's having sort of a little bit of an issue with his spirituality, because he's retired, he's got all kinds of money, and he was used to constantly having to work. He ran his own business, his own company, and it was a really big company. If you know, like Ocean Spray, they own that, and it's an Apple company. And so he was saying basically anytime you go to a Walmart or Walgreens or anything like that and you buy apples, it's from his company. And so it's a really huge company, and he was so used to constantly working and doing all this stuff, but now he's retired and he feels like he's lost his purpose, and he's having kind of some issues of being present in the moment and just going day by day, and just instead of striving and working, he wants to be more connected with himself and with his happiness. And so he was in need of spiritual guidance, and I was in need of financial information and travel information, and he travels all over the world, and he's even buying his own plane so he can just fly himself around. And so when you are in that receptive mode and you have a desire and you make that desire known and just let it go, and don't worry about how you're going to find out what ways you're going to go about it or what you need to do to make it happen. If you just let that go and relax, then whoever you need, whatever resources you need, will come to you. And in this case, and like any other case, the person that shows themselves to you that is going to be helpful for what you need to know, they're also going to need to know what you have to teach them. So it's an equal exchange. And so being in the receptive mode is really important. So whenever you have that nudge from within, that intuitive sense to go a certain direction, to walk over here, or to speak to a certain person, it's because they're guiding you to do something. And this is when you're in a good mood. This isn't when you're upset and in a bad mood and you feel like doing something, because usually if you're in a bad mood and you have the urge to do something, it's probably something negative and something destructive. So when you're in that positive state and you have that nudge from within to do something or say something or whatever, you have to follow it, because it's going to lead you through what is called the path of least resistance. And it's going to show you the people, the places, the knowledge, exactly what you need, exactly at the right time for you to move forward. And so this guy, he doesn't do spiritual work like me, but he's a master of something else. He works in, I want to say, finances, but he does a lot of research in, say, like the government and the way that the money is run. And he spoke a lot about how the U.S. government, when you make money, they take about half of what you make. And so he's living here so that he doesn't have to pay taxes at all. So he figured that out for himself. And so he was teaching me where to set up my business and then be able to move around the world and do consulting in different places and not have to pay tax on anything at all. And so that's really helpful information. And it's not information that I'm going to use right away because my business isn't big yet, but he was saying this information is going to be very useful for when I do start making a lot of money and I am able to do my traveling and things like that and expand. And so I'm probably going to meet with him today and we're going to do a video together so that he can teach you guys a little bit about what he was teaching me and give you a little bit of insight about how to live a more financially free lifestyle. Because like me, he understands that it's not a very good idea to be stuck working in a dead-end job, working for somebody else, and having them take your money from you. And being in that position of having to constantly be working and working and working and have no time for yourself. So what is the point of working a job that keeps you there all day, all night, and all you have time to do is sleep? What's the point in making money and working at this job if you don't have any time to use that money and you don't have any freedom? And so we both are in the understanding that people should be doing what they feel they should do. They should be doing what their passion is. They should be working for themselves and not for somebody else. They should be finding their freedom and having courage to be free instead of being stuck in fear and stuck in this mindset with the blinders that says, I have to work this many hours at this company that I have nothing to do with and the people don't care about me in order to get by. And that's not true. You can do more than just getting by, and it doesn't involve you being stuck in a job that doesn't suit you, or stuck in a job that takes up all your time, or stuck in a job that is not fulfilling to you. And the people who are higher up in that business or corporation, whatever that you're working for, they aren't thinking about you. They're thinking of themselves, and then they're taxing the money that they pay you. And so he does a lot of research with this system, and it's funny because he's older, but he's got the indigo mindset. So us indigos, we're here to shake up the system, we're here to change things. And so he has that mindset as well. And his purpose is to enlighten people and to help them understand these concepts. And so it was really crucial that I was to meet this person because, well, for one, his information is going to help me with what I'm doing. But number two, I believe I'm being set up by the guides and whoever, my higher soul. I'm being set up to become a life coach. and I've always kind of known, like, oh, I want to do life coaching, but the only thing that was really holding me back is I don't know anything about money. I don't know anything about finances. I don't know anything about, you know, the business world or government stuff or laws. I have never paid attention to that stuff. I'm all right-brained, no left brain for me. And so that was really the only thing that was stopping me from fully becoming a life coach, being able to do my spiritual teaching, but also make it practical to anyone who isn't necessarily on the spiritual path. And so that's kind of what all of this is leading up to, is me starting to, this is like sort of the next step of my training to become what I'm meant to become and to do what I'm supposed to be doing. And also, it's an opportunity for me to help him, to teach him what I know so that he can go and teach his students and whoever else the concepts and the understandings that I have. So we're broadening each other's perspectives and broadening each other's knowledge and insight about how to properly guide people, because as I said, we're both masters, and so our mission here is to first become the master and then teach that mastery to others. So I think it was really important that I had met this person, and it's very odd that we had that recognition of each other. And it wasn't just that we could speak easily, it wasn't just that, you know, when you talk to someone you click and it's like you've known each other forever. It wasn't like that. It didn't seem like a human thing, if you know what I'm saying. It didn't seem like, oh, we get along, so it feels like I know you. It was more like, so we were both really in the receptive mode. And so when you're in that mode, like I said, things are very clear, and you get insight coming in from the guides. And we were both getting all of these clear messages coming in that said that we know each other or knew each other. And it's hard for me to really figure out how, but I'm pretty stuck on the idea that it was a past life where we looked similar and we knew each other very well. But on the other hand, it could have been that he is simply part of my soul group. He's one of my teachers. And so when you're in the realm of spirit, before you come into another physical incarnation, you link up with a group of other souls, and together you decide what lessons you are going to teach one another, how you're going to meet each other, and how you're going to assist one another on your personal soul evolution. And so it's possible that he is in my soul group, and when we met in that realm, non-physical, we had shown each other what we would look like in this lifetime. And it's possible that we have that soul memory, that core memory of being shown what we would look like in this physical life, so that we would have this feeling of knowing each other when we finally met in the physical. And so it was very strange how everything worked out. And if you're constantly in the receptive mode and you have desires, you don't really have to focus on what it is that you desire. Your desires are in your vortex anyways. So everything that you want is already vibrational reality. So as long as you're aligned with that vibration, so feeling good, feeling positive, and feeling excited about what you desire, then you are going to be led to all of the people, places, and things that are going to bring you closer to whatever that desire is, without necessarily having to focus so much on the desire itself. And it was strange because he had the feeling of, you know, going golfing by himself. He was at that spot at the same time I was at this spot here. And we both, at the same time, had a nudge. We had an intuitive sense. I had a sense to stop because I was going to keep going and I was going to go back to the villa. I had this feeling I should stop and go take pictures next door to where I was. And he had the feeling to walk over and to say something. And so it brought us together by us both being in the receptive mode and listening to that guidance that was going to align us to be in the same place at the same time with the same information that both of us needed at that moment. And that is what we call divine perfect timing. Everything is in divine order. And so when you're in that receptive mode and things are coming to you and there's things happening, and people will call them coincidences, things that happen by chance, but it's not by chance. These things are divinely planned. They're divinely timed, and we know to do certain things because we have our intuition, and that's how our guides speak to us. So it's important to be in that mode of being able to receive their guidance, to be able to recognize that when you're guided to do something, it's your guides steering you in the direction of what it is you need to know, where it is you need to be at the right time. And so everything worked out really well with that. Even though at first I was sort of unsure about it, I understood after that everything that led up to this meeting and everything about this meeting was very divine, was very planned, was very perfect, was very necessary, and not a coincidence at all. The word coincidence comes from the mathematical term of coincide. Two things that coincide, two things that go together perfectly, that are drawn together. So that's what a coincidence is. So two things that go together perfectly. Two things that align. Okay? So it is really important to be in the receptive mode. Be in a positive state. Be optimistic. And when you see something that you don't really desire, you see something that makes you feel not so good, use it as contrast. Use it to show you what it is you do want so that you can shift to that emotion of feeling good. And then when you're feeling good, you will receive, in the receptive mode, the solutions and the ideas that you need to solve whatever problem or issue was causing you to feel that negative emotion. And anytime you are feeling a negative emotion, it means that you are not aligned with who you really are, because who you really are is all pure, positive, creative energy. You are source energy. And so anytime that you're feeling negative or fearful, it means that you're not aligned with that. It means that you aren't seeing something in the same way that your soul sees it. And so I was sort of putting myself in that position when he first started talking to me because I wasn't sure about it. And once I relaxed a little bit and went back into that receptive mode, I realized how everything was falling into place. And so, if you haven't seen any Abraham Hicks videos, please go to YouTube, type in Abraham Hicks, and some of it may be hard to understand, but they try to be very clear about how to use your vibration and how your vibration is a reality in itself. So when you're thinking of something, a desire comes in, an idea comes in, and it's a really good idea that you're really excited about. That is you being in the receptive mode. And when you get that idea and you feel the excitement about it actually happening, you feel the way it would feel when it's actually manifested, that vibration, that feeling, is a reality. It's not a physical reality, it's a vibrational reality. And so it's just as real as any physical manifestation, any physical item. It's just as real. And so when you're feeling that vibrational reality, that sensation of excitement and inspiration about an idea or an insight, that is a reality. And when you feel that, it's going to reflect out and be reflected back to you in the physical reality, so long as you stay at that vibration of feeling good, because that vibration of feeling good is aligned with every single desire that you have. So definitely check out Abraham Hicks. She's teaching me a lot about this vibration stuff, and I'm really gaining a new understanding about the law of attraction and how things work. Basically, it has everything to do with your emotions, how you're feeling. It's not so much about your thoughts, but your thoughts do create your emotions, because the way that you think about things, the way you perceive things, the way you put meaning to things is going to determine how you feel about it. But for the most part, you don't have to make the law of attraction a mental exercise, because it's not a mental exercise. The law of attraction is your soul, and your soul simply feels good. And so when you're feeling good, you're aligned with your soul, you're aligned with your desires, and they will be brought to you effortlessly. So you don't necessarily have to put in a lot of time sitting there and speaking to yourself mentally about all the things that you desire, because your higher self already knows everything that you want. Your higher self knows everything that you love, everything you want to experience. So all you have to do is be in the receptive mode, be feeling good, and you will get the ideas, you'll get the guidance, you'll get the reassurance and the nudge to go whichever way or do whatever thing that's going to bring you closer to manifesting that desire into the physical reality from the vibrational reality. So feel good, and feeling good aligns you with everything that you want. And then once you're aligned with everything you want will be drawn to you, and you will be drawn to it. So listen to your gut. Be in the receptive mode. And trust that everything will fall into place perfectly, because everything is divine and perfect order, so long as you are receptive of the order, of the messages, and in the right place at the right time, by simply being in the state of alignment and the state of feeling good. So I'm probably going to shoot a video with him later so that he can teach you guys a little bit about the financial side of things, and to help anyone who is doing their own entrepreneur work, starting their own businesses, doing their own thing, because he is a master, like I said, and he knows a lot about that stuff. I think that the information that he has is going to be really useful. It's not typically information that I teach on the Cosmic Mastery, but I feel like it is very essential to what people need to know at this time. And so I will keep you guys updated about that video, and I'll also be doing a reading for today. Okay, so have a good day, you guys. Happy 420. I will have some more videos up soon. Namaste.